Never go back in search of happiness, justifications, or excuses. The world is what it is, and so are you. Triumph is not permanent, and failure is not the end. What truly matters is the courage to move forward. Don't stress about the future, each day brings its own challenges. Among all the world's deceptions, sometimes our fears are the most deceptive. Don't ruin what you have by longing for what you don't possess. Remember that what you have now was once something you only wished for. There's no need to destroy books to end a culture, it's enough to make people stop reading them. Don't dwell on the past, you're no longer on that path. Be compassionate with yourself, we're all human and make mistakes. If you always tell the truth, you won't have to strain to remember what you said. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and whom you wish to emulate, rather than seeking acceptance from those you think will easily accept you. The people you surround yourself with will influence the course of your life. Start saving money, avoid spending it on houses you can't afford, luxury cars, and maxing out your credit cards. In the end, you will find greater satisfaction. There are two paths you can take, but over time there is always the opportunity to change the direction you're heading. There's no point in wasting time worrying about what others think of you, no one is truly focused on you. For those who feel, the world may seem a tragedy, but for those who think, it's a comedy. Thinking is one of the most demanding tasks there is, and perhaps that's why few people engage in it. There are only 3 important moments in a person's life: birth, life itself, and death. In the end, you'll find much greater happiness. There are 2 routes you can take, but there is always time to change the direction in which you're headed. There's no sense in wasting energy worrying about what others think of you. The truth is, no one is focused on you. The world is a tragedy for those who feel intensely, but a comedy for those who reason. Thinking is one of the most demanding tasks there is, and that's probably why not many people engage in it. There are only 3 important moments in a person's life: birth, living, and death. We are not aware of the moment we are born, we suffer in death, and often forget to truly live. Master your mood, because if you don't control it, it will control you. To understand the world, sometimes you need to distance yourself from it. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. True love doesn't have a happy ending, because true love never ends. Life is like a book, some chapters are sad, others joyful, but all are essential to complete the story. Take care of your well-being. Without health, nothing else will have value. No amount of money can give you happiness if you're suffering. Always follow your own path, not the one society, friends, or family expect of you. What others think of you is none of your business. It's not a lack of time, it's a lack of priority. Discipline brings freedom. To understand your adversary, you must put yourself in their place. Children learn by watching adults, not by listening to their words. Never ignore contempt. When someone belittles you and speaks to you as if you were inferior, it is likely to cause harm, whether in your relationships, socially, or even physically. Remove that person from your life. Life still has much to offer, but it is also brief. If you want to achieve something, don't delay it, but don't compromise your long-term goals for immediate desires. This is your world, shape it, or someone else will shape it for you. The best thing I did was stop sharing with others what happens in my life. Be proud of the effort you're putting in. In your most difficult moments is when you discover many truths. No one is too busy, it all comes down to priorities. Don't insist, don't beg, and don't chase. Learn to change a flat tire on your car. If you don't value your time, others won't either. The pain you face today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. Don't postpone important medical exams. Time heals almost everything, give it time. Sometimes you win, other times you learn. If something makes you happy, keep it to yourself. If no one supports you, do it on your own. Be protective of your time, not everyone deserves it. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start now and change the ending. If you don't ask, you don't get answers. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Life isn't always fair, but it's still worth living. Those who don't dare to take risks will not achieve great things. Don't take on responsibilities that aren't yours, set clear boundaries and be selective about who you allow into your life. Invest in real estate, land, or any property within your reach. The less you accumulate, the lighter and happier you'll feel. Don't let others lecture you, walk away, knowing you've already learned your lesson. When in doubt, take the next small step. Be careful in choosing whom you marry, and even more so whom you decide to have children with. Slow down and recognize that mistakes are essential for learning anything. Make your encounters now before age makes you more resistant to change. In the end, only family truly cares. Keep busy, it's one of the cheapest and most effective ways to stay well. Your friends' problems become your problems. The smaller your circle of friends, the fewer complications you'll have to face. When you were born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live in such a way that when you die, the world cries for you while you feel at peace. A difficult stage in your life can begin at any moment. Talent represents only 1% of genius, while 99% is pure dedication. God's greatest creation is the human being. Who discovered it? The human being himself. Save a small amount of money each week or month, nothing will give you greater peace of mind than a financial reserve. Whether you believe it or not, happiness is not something you should wait for in the future, it's something you build in the present. Life moves quickly, if you don't take a moment to stop and look around, you might miss what's happening. The quality of your thoughts influences the health of your mind. Give it your best and trust the process. The more you dedicate yourself, the more opportunities for success you'll have. Your heart will guide your direction, while your mind will help you get there safely. Using one without the other will lead you astray. Free yourself from your worries every night as you shed your clothes. Often, the lies we accept as truth end up becoming reality. To live a full life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Never give up on something you truly want to achieve. While waiting can be difficult, regret is even harder to bear. You won't achieve great things if you get carried away by small distractions. Focus on what is under your control and don't worry about what you can't manage. A clever person solves a problem, while a wise person prevents it from arising. Many of the failures we face are just temporary setbacks. Life is not about finding yourself, but about creating yourself. What matters is not what happens to you, but how you choose to respond to it. Intuition surpasses exact knowledge in importance. You can always show kindness to those who don't affect you. Nothing is as costly in life as illness or neglecting it. Everything outside the present is pure fantasy. Your life won't improve by chance, it requires change. Stay strong, even when things start to fall apart. I'd rather be a simple farmer understood by animals than a poet not understood by people. Fear only exists in the mind. You'll never regret telling someone you love them. Act before it's too late. You can learn more about someone from what they say about others than from what others say about them. Marriage involves reducing your rights and increasing your responsibilities. Jealousy will affect you, don't be surprised, it's common. You will often have to endure pain and learn to grow on your own. Trust with caution, not blindly. We're here to enjoy, not to stay too long. Foolishness reveals itself through words, while wisdom manifests in silence. A present day is worth 2 future days. Our thoughts shape our identity. Difficulties reveal the true nature of people. The memory of the living keeps the existence of the dead alive. Don't take anything personally, what others say and do reflects their own reality. The more you care about others, the more they find you interesting. To attract interest, show interest in others. The only time it's valid to look back is to measure your progress. Consider stress as the opposite of indifference. When someone reveals their true nature to you, trust it from the beginning. A leader is someone who offers hope. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with those around you. Working for someone else means limiting yourself to offering your effort, not enjoying the results of it. True love begins when nothing is expected in return. Don't just read a quote and think, "This is wise." Instead, ask yourself, how can I apply this to my life? It's better to do 50% now than to wait to do 100% never. If something isn't broken, don't try to fix it. You'll always be judged, so be authentic in who you want to be. Wealth is like seawater, the more you consume, the thirstier you get, and the same goes for fame. What Paul says about Peter reveals more about Paul than about Peter. Adversities strengthen the mind in the same way that exercise strengthens the body. The reality is that everyone will hurt you, you just have to find those who are worth enduring it for. If you fear love, it's better to stay single, plain and simple. Never use maybe if you really mean no. When you feel anger, opt for silence. It's not necessary to win every argument, it's okay to disagree. Eventually, you'll realize that no one else can influence your life unless you allow it. You are only limited by the barriers you set yourself. You only have the right to do the work, not to the results. Children can make so much noise that it's hard to think, but when they leave home forever, silence can be overwhelming. Nonviolence is a tool for the strong. No matter how fine the cut, there will always be two sides. Everything you imagine is fantasy, and everything you achieve is science. The history of humanity could be considered a science fiction novel. If a person doesn't know their destiny, no wind will be useful to them. Live each day as if it were the last, because one of these days it will be. Only those who have the freedom to speak the truth are truly free. Anyone aspiring to be a good leader must have been led before. The greatest danger is not taking any risks. It's better to prevent than to regret. Give without expecting anything in return. You must abandon the habit of constantly questioning yourself. Waiting for things to change without taking action is like waiting for a train at a bus station. A blind person is not a good guide until night falls. We live two lives, and the second begins when we understand that we only have one. It's not your responsibility that things are the way they are. You can't just wait for inspiration to come, you must pursue it with determination. Remember that 5 years ago, you dreamed of being in the situation you're in now. Reflect on this. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you probably don't understand it yourself. Life is unique, so do what brings you joy. The ones who are hardest to love are those who need love the most. What is God for one may be the laws of physics for another. Hatred is a curse that only harms the hater, not the object of their hatred. Releasing a grudge is like releasing poison. Don't reveal your plans to your friends, don't trust them too much. Keep what you're doing secret until you've completed it. Time always reveals what you really mean to someone. Be fair to everyone, converse with many, bond with a few chosen ones, and maintain a close friendship with some. Fearing death is less terrifying than fearing not truly living. When a woman is upset, she's not only wrong but also aware of it. If someone tries to bring you down, they are already beneath you. Time always reveals what you truly represent to someone. Even the finest metal corrodes if immersed in salt water. Not everyone wants to be your friend, and that's okay. In reality, you don't want everyone to be your friend. What you do now leaves a mark on eternity. Tackle the difficult tasks first, the simpler ones will resolve themselves. If you can overcome your own thoughts, you can face any challenge. Love your enemies, for they point out your flaws. What doesn't destroy us makes us stronger. Procrastination steals our time. Put it in perspective. One day, looking back, the years of effort will seem the most valuable. What history teaches us is that no one really learns from it. Those who risk nothing have nothing to expect. Learn to heal without sharing your problems with everyone. Failure is just a setback, not a permanent mark. Be cautious with whom you trust. Salt and sugar may look identical. Money is just a tool, not the ultimate goal. The true goal is freedom. Keep your calm. You've overcome this before and you will again. Learn to say no without feeling the need to justify yourself. Don't believe everything you hear and only partially trust what you see. Saints are simply sinners who keep striving. Above all, maintain deep respect for yourself. Perform tasks that others cannot do and you will become someone no one else can match. Value experience more than possessions, as memories are the true treasures of life. Offer something to others, whether it's donating the profits of a sale or giving a bill to someone in need. Do it, it will bring you satisfaction. Women are meant to be loved, not understood. Lead from the back and let others believe they are in charge. Love is an intense desire to be desired in return. Not preparing is preparing for failure. Intelligence is not visible to those who lack it. Do yourself a favor, acquire wealth. Life becomes simpler with money, not with time. If they don't value your presence, they don't deserve you. To avoid disappointments, expect nothing from others. Keep gossip at bay, it's toxic to your mind. The root cause of suffering is attachment. Stress is temporary, but the lessons it teaches can last a lifetime. Money isn't everything in life, but it can help solve many inconveniences. The future moves calmly, the present passes quickly, and the past remains fixed forever. Being everywhere at once means not being anywhere truly. The greatest conquest is the one you achieve over yourself. If you don't stumble from time to time, it's as if you're not making progress. Leave behind what caused you pain, but always keep the lesson it taught you. The only way to live grandly is to strive as if you're serving others. Before continuing, remember to like if you're enjoying the video and subscribe to the channel to receive the best advice on attracting abundance and prosperity into your life. Let's move forward. Everyone, at some point, faces the consequences of their actions. You came into this vast world alone and will leave it alone, therefore, you can achieve anything that seems unattainable if you set your mind to it. You seem fragile when you are strong and robust when you are vulnerable. Seek wisdom rather than just knowledge. Knowledge belongs to the past, while wisdom points to the future. Give authority to a person and you'll see their true essence. You are solely responsible for your own joy. If you rely on others for happiness, you'll always be disappointed. It's not necessary to be constantly active, it's okay to take time to relax. Those who master the past have power over the future, those who manage the present control the past. Intelligent people extract lessons from everything and everyone, ordinary people learn from their own experiences, and ignorant people believe they already know all the answers. Above all, don't be afraid. The adversary that makes you retreat fears you at that very moment. Accept what is, let go of what was, and trust what will come. Keep in mind that some things need to end to make way for something better. If you want to forget something immediately, write it down to remember it later. Opportunities come to those who know how to wait, but only those who rush miss out. Education is the most powerful tool to transform the world. Make sure you have at least one person in your life who gives you honest feedback. Be a person of integrity, but don't waste time trying to prove it. Perform every action as if it were the last of your life. Broken trust is lost forever. Everything happens for a reason. Controlling others can be a show of strength, but true power lies in self-control. Those who suffer prematurely experience more pain than necessary. The fear of death grows as wealth increases. While enemies may cause you harm, only friends have the power to truly hurt you. If a person has more knowledge than others, they may feel isolated. Life is comparable to riding a bicycle. To keep balance, you need to keep moving. Success consists of overcoming failures one after another without losing spirit. Nothing is extremely complicated if you break it down into small tasks. A negative mindset will never lead you to a positive life. Just as a container fills drop by drop, the wise person, by accumulating knowledge little by little, enriches themselves with goodness. Everything you need will come to you at the right moment. To earn the trust of others, act with sincerity. Those who claim something is impossible should not interrupt those who are trying. True wealth is not in accumulating great possessions but in having few needs. A goal without a plan is merely a wish. We suffer more in our minds than in reality. Those who follow a straight path rarely stumble. Life will pull you away from your friends, so cherish every moment spent with them. Women have the power to make even men more refined. Don't seek happiness outside, it resides within you. Expect the best and prepare for the worst. Good things come to those who are patient and perseverant. Though it may take time and be a hard path, it is worth it in the end. Looking back on your life, you will regret more the things you didn't do than the ones you did. A career should start as a genuine passion rather than a convenient choice. Better days are coming, you won't always wake up with a heavy heart. Worrying doesn't solve future problems, it only robs you of peace in the present. The individual who works beyond their reward will soon receive more rewards than effort. Don't act impulsively, remain calm in silence. True genius is knowing exactly how far you can go. Your greatest strength and your greatest adversary is your mind, train it. Luck favors the bold. The more time you spend clinging to the past, the less likely your future will shine brighter. Perfection is not achieved when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. Those who have a reason to live can face almost any difficulty. The art of living well and the art of dying well are essentially the same. If you can make a person laugh, you can motivate them to do almost anything. The direction you take is more crucial than the speed at which you advance. You can recover lost money, but if you miss the moment, you won't get it back. Live with an open perception through your eyes, ears, and heart. Don't ruin an apology by justifying yourself. Everything seems unattainable until it's achieved. Don't let the same people disappoint you twice. The best way to save is to put money aside daily. Compound interest can achieve surprising results. Maintain silence both in moments of joy and in moments of sadness. Possessions don't bring us happiness, experiences do. To start, stop talking and start acting. True men avoid conflict but never shy away from it. Truth is found in both wine and children. People want you to succeed, but not more than they want to succeed themselves. Difficult times always test who your true friends are. Stop measuring your progress compared to those who started a decade ago, focus on your own path. Simplicity is the result of experience. True education is what remains after you forget what you learned in school. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. With that first step, you need to learn to let go before you can receive. It is not necessary to use many words to express the truth. Choose your friends carefully. The most effective way to progress is to be surrounded by more capable people. Don't be afraid to face difficult decisions, they often bring the most benefits in the end. Nothing is as simple as it appears. Those who don't make mistakes are not doing anything at all. Those who haven't made mistakes haven't tried anything new. Future work efforts will rely on pressing buttons. Nothing drives someone to venture more than an empty pocket. What you do today will determine your future. The time to act is now. It's never too late to start something new. Be the change you want to see in the world. Others' progress doesn't diminish your own. Even the most prominent people have their limitations. If you suppress the truth, be prepared to receive lies. Only those who master themselves are truly free. If you can't find a loyal friend, become your own friend. Laziness progresses so slowly that poverty quickly catches up. Others' lack of intelligence doesn't make us more intelligent. Seek respect rather than attention, as the former is more lasting. Focus on those who care about you, not on those who don't. Even if your vision is blurry, it will clear up over time. Patience will be your companion. Don't forget who stood by you in difficult times. Both optimists and pessimists contribute differently to society. The optimist creates the plane, while the pessimist develops the parachute. Laws function like spider webs that can trap small insects but let larger creatures escape. Traveling alone allows you to advance more quickly. True genius lies in the ability to differentiate the complicated from the impossible. A lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth gets its shoes on. Lastly, but not least, you are here for a reason that you may not yet understand, but be patient, you have overcome an incredible amount of odds to be here. Appreciate the small things in life that many overlook. There will always be people who don't recognize your worth, make sure you're not one of them. Life was not meant to make us perfect, perfection is reserved for a museum. What we know is just a drop, while what we don't know is an ocean. No regrets, just give your best. Attend as many funerals as you can tolerate and observe. No one mentions the deceased's achievements. What really endures is the kind of person you were while achieving your successes. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you should have them back in your life. Loss is part of the process of moving on. Ignorance is the source and foundation of all evils. Never interfere with your opponent while they are making a mistake. Take care of your health. Remember, health is another form of wealth. You can't change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sails to reach your goal. Don't regret having a good heart. All good things return and multiply. If you don't let go of the wrong people, you'll never have the chance to meet the right ones. Don't be ashamed of doing what is best for you. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll get the same results you've always gotten. Don't rely on words alone, trust in actions. Courage isn't about having the strength to go on, it's about going on even when you feel weak. There's nothing more intolerable than inactivity. God knows when to provide exactly what you need. Don't make lasting decisions based on momentary feelings. At first, it hurts, but then it strengthens you. No matter how difficult the past has been, you always have the chance to start again. Forgive the person you used to be, you have evolved. Don't measure your greatness by the shadow you cast at the end of the day. A friend who is available to everyone is not really close to anyone. Female intuition is often much more accurate than male certainty. Those who are not content with little will never be satisfied with anything. Understanding a question is already a step towards the answer. How many things would you dare to try if you knew there was no chance of failure? You are enough as you are, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Sometimes, it is necessary to face the worst to achieve the best. Stay alone until you find your value. Don't reveal too much, privacy is a form of power. Be authentic. You don't need to please others or worry about it. The ability to forget is a sign of maturity. Let go of societal advice, most people don't know what they're doing. It's better to give no excuse than to offer one that's inadequate. What matters is what happens before death. Sometimes, people don't want to face the truth because they fear their illusions will be shattered. The key to success is performing ordinary tasks exceptionally. If you believe in your ability, you've already covered half the journey. The family you build is more significant than the family you come from. The less you have sex, the less you desire it. The path of truth is clear and evident, it's not complicated to recognize it. The problem is that people don't seek it. An individual should not lack a sense of shame, as a lack of shame is actually a form of audacity.